That's crazy.
That you ran out of bags?
We did not run out of bags. if we did, I gotta order right now. What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Refinement. We are running a show today where I'm hoping to sell around 5,000 items for $50,000. I essentially run some liquidation and I run some stuff from the flea market, some stuff that is thrifted, some stuff from specific buyers. They are looking for inventory that matches my needs. My current operation is on whatnot.com. And you can use my invite code in the description below to get $15 off your first purchase. And I'm gonna do a big show every single Friday because why not? This is Taylor. He is packing. We got lots of stuff.
We got a whole.
We got Nick in the back. So we're getting everything ready.
They're going out today.
They're going out today. So guys, if you bought something in the stream, a lot of you will get it out in the mail today because I have 4 people shipping. So I am stoked. What's up, guys? It's an interesting day here at Daily Refinement Inc. And I tried to sell $60,000 last Friday on Whatnot in shoes. If you guys remember, a couple of weeks ago, I bought a big truck of stuff and we sold about 80% of it. I was hoping to do about $60,000 worth of sales. It did not go as planned, but we did end up selling 1,900 items, which is kind of crazy, kind of overwhelming. And I think that overall, it's gonna take us about 50 hours to ship all of it, but I'm gonna try to get it out in 2 business days. So pretty exciting day here. I wanna go over what happened. All right, guys, so it's kind of insane. Printing these labels actually took 5 hours of continuous printing on my Rollo. So it took a long time to print the labels, and it took me about 3 hours this morning to sort them in the different piles. I sold about 30 different categories of items to retail buyers, to people who are buying wholesale, to people who are just buying for entertainment. On Whatnot, there's a feature where you can gift it to the chat, which I thought was wild because over the course of 6.5 hours of doing the show, 18,000 views happened. So a lot of people came in and out of the show. At one time, I had 853 people in the chat, and I had 900 unique buyers, which is kind of wild. So this is a lot of people, including 440 brand new buyers to my stream. So a lot of people think that you can build a following overnight, but it really doesn't work like that because we just crossed over 40,000 followers, but it's from essentially 1.5 years now of constantly giving stuff away, promoting on social media, meeting different sellers. I have now talked to about 2,000 different sellers on the platform, getting different ideas, figuring out what kind of supplies work. And a lot of people reached out to me asking, can I have some of your suppliers, or what is your supply list? And I've actually shared some of that with some people, but I have tried over 30 different suppliers for products. So this isn't as easy as it looks, and this might look a little overwhelming, and it is to some degree, but there is a method to the madness. And as I create the stations out there on the warehouse floor, everyone is working on a specific thing. So hopefully we can get this shipped in a couple days. All right, so this is Taylor. And Taylor, as you guys know, he's in the group. He has been taking my packages to the post office for me in his Sprinter, which is awesome. And once we get these packages set up right here, we try to have the label facing outward to make sure that our packages have a label so we're not accidentally shipping things that are not packed. We put them in these USPS burlap sacks. And normally you would seal these shut, but Taylor actually empties these out on the dock and brings these bags back because the post office has been having issues delivering here because of the volume, or picking up here because of the volume. But I think I may actually have that sorted out. There's such thing as a USPS 7-ton truck, which looks like a military vehicle, right? Right. Yeah, it's this gigantic vehicle, and hopefully that can come here and end up picking up because it's crazy that Taylor, like I have a whole person that just sticks up to the packages to the post office. So It's been wild.
We take it straight to the dock for the packages. They hit the machines a little bit faster than if you were to take the packages to like the front desk of the post office, because it hits the processing machines a little bit faster. So it helps with delivery times. And then also you can't take this volume to the front desk of the post office. They would turn you away.
Yeah, and I think Taylor actually timed it. It's about 8 or 9 hours faster to take it directly to the distribution center. And sometimes that ends up being 1 day faster. I'm in California, so a lot of people in California literally get it the next business day because it goes from the distribution center right onto the truck going to Sacramento or LA. So it is interesting how fast some of the orders, and Taylor's even been shipping a few eBay orders there. And are they arriving fast?
They are arriving fast. It's funny because like I changed my handling time to 3 days because sometimes if I have a media mail order, it may not get scanned in before midnight. But it's funny because even though I increased my handling time, my packages are arriving faster.
This is interesting because on Whatnot, it shows that I have a 1 day handling, and on Poshmark, it shows that I have a 1 day handling. And on eBay, you might put 3 day handling,
Yep.
but it might actually just be same day or 1 day handling because of the way it's processed through the center. So
Yep.
it might get scanned in 2 days but arrive in 3 days versus being scanned in 1 day but arrive in 4 days. So
Yep.
it is interesting looking at the different methods. On Poshmark, it says that I ship in 1 day, but it's really the same day. And on Whatnot, it shows that I ship in 1 day, but it's really same day. It's just that the tracking doesn't show up for 8 or 9 hours later, but the packages move through the system faster. It's very difficult to explain, but I think that delivering your packages earlier to the customer is better overall. And most platforms ding you more for packages arriving late than being scanned late. So just something to consider. But if you're on eBay, it might be worth it to go to the post office and get a scan at the front, or have an arrangement with your person in the back dock. We could maybe set that up, but the worker back there, she already works her butt off, and it would be very difficult for her to scan because we shipped like 500,000 packages this year. For her to scan all of them is kind of unreasonable. One thing also that's kind of funny is this is probably 10,000 pounds worth of packages going out. So Taylor is going to be moving 5 tons of stuff to the post office today, which is kind of exciting. All right, guys, so this is how I did the stream essentially. Most of the time during the 6.5 hour stream, I actually was sitting. I tried to pace myself because it's a long time to be talking. So essentially I would do a giveaway whenever I used the bathroom or had to take a break. And I strategically did those throughout the stream. And I've done really long streams before, like up to 16 hours, but I didn't want to burn myself out. Plus I had an appointment after the meeting and also had date night. So didn't want to completely burn myself out. I think that's something very normal. If you have a family, if you have a life outside of work, you got to be careful with the energy that you put into it. And I want to just let you guys know that I'm never really 100% ready when I turn the stream on. You just go as the best you can. You're going to feel the energy of the people in the room. You're going to essentially build the show based on who is in the show and what they are looking for. I have a list of all the inventory that I can present to my audience. That part I am prepared for, but one mistake that I did was I used my phone the entire time to enter in what people were looking for. If I had my computer, it would have been way better. So my computer, I can quickly type in and enter in new lots for what people are looking for. If they want a different color or style or assorted collection, it's difficult to do it on your phone and run it. Also, all my devices ran out of battery because people wanted me to walk around and physically show them the inventory. So I could have laid out all my stock a little bit better, although I am satisfied with how it went. I was able to do tons of buy it nows. I was able to run hundreds of auctions even during that period of time. I did tons of giveaways. I did 41 giveaways, which is the most giveaways I've ever done in any show. So I usually like to keep my giveaway budget about 10%. So when I spent $6,000, I was hoping to get at least 60,000 in sales. But again, it's not an exact science. A lot of people will ask, like, how can I do a show if I can't afford to give anything away? When I first started, I didn't. I couldn't afford to give things away. I started everything that I could sell for $1 at $1 and then slowly built my way up. Some of the items we have are very expensive and we have to sell them starting a lot higher. I have found personally on Whatnot that the super high-end items do not do well, and I would rather give those away. I had a Louis Vuitton bag. That show we ended up doing $10,000. That bag cost $900. So I always try to base the giveaway budget at 10% of it, sort of as a cost of doing business, like a marketing cost. On eBay and Poshmark, you can actually pay for better placement. On Whatnot, it's only $5 to be a promoted show, something like that. So I feel like the draw is your giveaway. That's how you get people to show up. That's why every single show we do 3 giveaways or more to try to entice people to come. And I feel like there's some strategy here because I actually intentionally posted my show on the same day as the biggest streamer in my category. Now, a lot of people would be afraid to do that, but I was 100% confident my show was better. So people always stay in the show that's better. So I sort of used that show's publicity to my advantage, and I didn't do that much marketing. If you guys watch me on Instagram and YouTube, I didn't really do that much marketing. We did one video and I did two or three Instagram posts, but nothing really heavy on the marketing side because I was just going to absorb the marketing from that person's show. And that person brought a ton of people to the audience, and what ended up happening was they left that show and stayed in my show because my show was better. So I recommend if you guys want to stand out on the app, make sure you have the best possible show plan that you can. But it's never going to be perfect, so you just got to set a date that you're going to go live and then go live and do the best that you can. Very, very difficult to have everything perfectly done. I was telling my wife before I started, I feel like I'm 82% ready. Also, my main streamers, you guys know Holly and Allison, they took that day off. Initially, I was planning on them helping me, but this job is really physical. There's a lot of talking and you have to pace yourself. So I could have had them come, but I think it would have affected this week's performance, and I'm in this for the long term. You gotta take care of your people, you gotta take care of your voice. If you're gonna talk for a really, really long time, you gotta be careful. I reached like the best sleep scores I've ever gotten on my apps before my show because I knew I needed that energy in order to do it properly. So I've been trying to take care of myself health-wise. You have to be in a good mood, you have to eat as healthy as you can, otherwise you're gonna get burned out talking. Even when they went on vacation, vacations work. And when they got back, they were tired because they were more burnt out over vacation, which I think is real. It's a real thing. If you go on vacation, like you're not getting that much rest. It's a ton of travel. They were in the car for like 2 days and that beats up your body. So remember, if you go on vacation and come back, you might want to give yourself a day or two to get back into the swing of things. That's just the reality of working in this type of job. This is essentially a sales job. You are selling to people. So if you deplete your energy, it's got to build back up somehow. So that's why we try to structure it so there's a break in the middle of 2 shifts. I did the same thing. I had pizza in the middle. So it was 6.5 hours running, but I took about 1 to 2 hours of breaks in between the 6.5 hours while trying to manage building up the show. So if you guys watched it it was 6.5 hours. It started at 130 people watching, and at the end there was 835 people watching. So I was able to build that over time. Lots of people stayed in the stream for 2, 3, 4, 6 hours to watch the whole thing, and hopefully you guys learned a thing or two on how I present myself. But essentially, I'm trying to do pattern interrupts over and over again by changing the topic, changing the subject, changing what I'm selling, changing the format to keep people engaged the entire time. I probably switched it up 50 or 60 times in that period. So really important, guys, when you are streaming, to pace yourself, be as comfortable as you can. All my previous streams, I was standing, and that was like totally brutal on my body. So I recommend if you're gonna do a marathon, try to sit if you can. So in order to get $60,000 in the show, I spent 10% of it on giveaways, which ended up being 20 iPads, which is ridiculous. These are all brand new, sealed. They're not refurbished. I bought them at Best Buy. I risked getting robbed to get them. Pretty scary, but I got them here safely. Was able to give away all 20. I thank everybody for coming to the show. Please check out my link in the description below to get $15 off if you've never used Whatnot before. Okay, so a little bit of the product mix that I was selling during the show. I sold these Clove sneakers, which I've been selling for a while, which I want to remind people that I offered these wholesale right when I got them and nobody was interested, and I've already sold probably 11,000 pairs of these. So that was one of my product offerings. I sold those in sets of 2. I also sold vintage tees and modern tees. So vintage tees are often on vintage tags, like this Fruit of the Loom tag from the 90s. This is also single stitch, very popular. So we have that. We also have modern tees. I sold men's and women's. I try to include the widest variety of people that can buy. I also sold some vintage lots. So these pieces are from the 70s. So I ended up selling lots of 50 of these vintage pieces that I actually bought out from the store that went out of business in the 70s. So I like to have something for everybody. These shoes that I sold in different varieties. As far as the styles, there are 70 different styles. I sold them in sets of 1, 2, and 10, and one person bought 1 pallet. So these shoes are all new overstock, so these are not returns. For a return, this obviously wouldn't come in this type of packaging, but this type of shoe, there were 70 different styles. These shoes are kind of for people who go clubbing, but this is not everyone in America, but does cater to a small demographic. So I tried to do this plus sneakers, plus heels, plus flats, so I can get a little bit of something for everyone. Okay, so to speed up shipping, I actually pre-bagged all of these before the show. You can actually see 8, this is actually 8.5, this is 7.5. So everything was already pre-bagged before I started the show, just to make it easier when the show started to bag everything. So we were able to package these obviously like boom, 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 and I had all the labels stacked for 8, 7.5, 8.5, all here. 2 people double check the labels to make sure they're right, and that just made it really streamlined to ship all different sizes. That's one method. If you decide to go random or mixed when people purchase it, you're gonna get a lot less per item, but you can sell a lot more quantity of items. All right, guys, so it's the aftermath. We finished packing everything for the show. The show ended up doing $80,600. I also did another $800 on Poshmark and another $1,100 on wholesale, so it was a pretty good day overall. Also, right after the show, I went and sold my Prius for $10,000, so it was like a $92,000 day, which is a lot for me. So this is sort of all that's left out of 4,000 shoes. We sold overall over the last couple of weeks about 3,500 shoes. There's about 500 left. And we are actually back to streaming again, so I'll go show you guys what it looks like. From earlier when it was all crazy, most of the stuff is now gone. Our space is open again. They are streaming. And actually, let's walk over here real quick and see. A lot of the stuff is more cleared out.
Oh, I know.
And then I have just a small amount of wholesale left, but everything is starting to clear up. And this stuff is also going out. It's already been scheduled. UPS is outside picking up packages, and we sold around, I would say around 5,000 total items when you count everything together. And you gotta check out Holly. This is insane.
This is crazy. I know.
Wow.
So,
that's insane.
$230, you guys. And it's branded with this tag. So we're gonna run it size medium.
How is this only 230, but their jeans are 150?
I know.
Right? Because this is like, how's that not 400 or 500? Yeah, so this is what we do now. This is our new shoe. And then, yeah, that's it. Our Poshmark is a little bit more low key. We can do more videos on that in the future as well. But thank you guys for stopping by. We're gonna do one giant show every month.